Did Dwight kills Jeremiah? When Dwight and his group arrive at the Dunmire estate, they strike it hard. Although Dunmire's gang responds in kind, Dwight's group is too strong for them. Jeremiah is so terrified by this that he flees for his safety and leaves Joanne. Dwight follows Jeremiah after ensuring Joanne is all right. In order for Jeremiah to experience the same agony that Theo Montague did, Dwight beats the living daylights out of him before stringing him up and setting him on fire. By the way, since Cleo ought to be the one exacting revenge on her father, you may be wondering where she is. I have the same question, though. Like every revenge plot in a film or television program, it appears that the creators either forgot about her or wanted a guy to perform a woman's role. Alternatively, it's conceivable that Bella Heathcote wasn't available on the day that portion of the finale was filmed due to schedule conflicts. That occasionally occurs, so the crew had to make do with what they had. In any case, Jeremiah has passed away, and I guess that's what counts. Tulsa King Season 3 Episode 10, Finale, Ending Explained, Is Dwight able to kill Jeremiah? As Jeremiah notes, that was for the Invernizes, his crime family. How about his own family, though? Jeremiah accuses Dwight of having no conscience and never having remorse because Joanne doesn't respond to that query. In response, Joanne asks Jeremiah whether he has any regrets, fully aware that he places the burden on himself. Jeremiah becomes enraged because he sent his older son to fight and dislikes that he has turned to kidnapping in order to maintain his position at the top of the social hierarchy. He only knocks over the meal in front of him, he doesn't harm Joanne. Now, because Jeremiah is so preoccupied with Joanne, he doesn't realize that his own son has effectively crossed sides and arrived at Bread, $2 Saloon to let Dwight know where Joanne is. Because of all the terrible things he has done on Jeremiah's behalf, Cole obviously doesn't receive the best greeting, but when Cole tells them Joanne is doing well, Dwight and his team settle down and hear what Dunmire Jr. has to say after Spencer informs the group that many people were spared from the hotel explosion because Cole released that information. In order to make it easier for Dwight and his crew to find Joanne, Cole begins recording the number of soldiers in Jeremiah's army, the condition of his armory, and even offers to create a thorough map of the Dunmire estate. They assign responsibilities and leave once they have a clear understanding of what they are up against. However, Dwight advises Goody to wait. Because Goody will have to assume control of the entire empire he has established if Dwight does not survive this ordeal. Because Spencer is a child and Dwight doesn't want Cole to have to fight his own father and then witness his death, they are also excused from the assault. Cole doesn't know Jeremiah has kidnapped Joanne. Joanne is under pressure from Jeremiah to sign the contract and give Jeremiah ownership of Montague Distilleries. I frequently forget that Joanne is the real owner of Montague Distilleries because Dwight is usually in the spotlight. Jeremiah hasn't abducted anyone like Tyson or Grace because he is more perceptive than I am. Because Joanne is the only one who can accept the offer of giving up control of the distillery in order to prevent the impending violent conflict between Dunmire and Dwight's men, he has singled her out. Joanne doesn't state whether she will sign or not, but she does note that, regardless of her choice, due to his employment of illicit tactics to outdo Dwight, Jeremiah has lost the war. Cole, incidentally, is unaware that Jeremiah has abducted Joanne. Perhaps because Jeremiah believes Cole was the source of the bomb information leak. Therefore, Cole would have undoubtedly informed Dwight through Spencer if Jeremiah had instructed him to spearhead the plan to abduct Joanne. No, I don't think Jeremiah gives a damn about what Cole thinks he should or shouldn't do, but he cannot allow his son to undermine his radical ideas. Because Cole will likely inform Dwight of Joanne's whereabouts as soon as he sees her, he has placed 2 men outside his office who have been instructed not to let Cole inside. Something he most likely isn't aware of yet. That obviously won't be enough to stop Cole. After Jeremiah and his men have left, Cole enters the room a short while later and begins formulating a strategy to return her safely to Dwight. He suggests that Joanne give Jeremiah ownership of the distillery after running into dead end after dead end. Joanne notes that there is no assurance that Jeremiah will just release her, even if she signs the property documents. Because Jeremiah abducted and injured his sister, Dwight will continue attack the Dunmires even if Jeremiah releases Joanne. When Joanne is brought to the Dunmire estate in Tulsa King Season 3 Episode 10, Jeremiah gives the order for his men to bind her. Unaware of this, Dwight is shown talking to Margaret about Thresher's polling numbers, which seem to have skyrocketed following the hotel explosion. According to Margaret, this indicates that Thresher will ask her to join his administration. Because he is aware that Thresher is attempting to steal his girl, Dwight dislikes the concept and advises Margaret to turn down the job offer. Margaret advises Dwight to take a different perspective. In this gubernatorial contest, Dwight has undoubtedly aided Thresher greatly, particularly with the sackrider issues. However, how long will Thresher recall that? When Thresher is criticized for hanging around with such a mobster, he will eventually want to put some distance between himself and Dwight, possibly even severing their relationship. If Margaret joins his cabinet, she will be able to give Dwight any information he requires.